Hey there, YouTube family. Today I'm going to be doing a video about earnings as well as a risk that is looming for stocks. I want to cover that with you guys today. A critical level of support that JP Morgan has identified. Plus, we're going to cover another earnings play for tomorrow from the Moo earnings calendar. On Wednesday, we've got earnings coming up for Lowe's, Dollar Tree, NIO, Salesforce, and Snow. Stay to the very end for some bonus technicals on stocks that I'm not going to go in depth on today, but I think you're going to want to hear some of these quick reviews. All of these companies could get a little bounce simply because their earnings are coinciding with the market pullback that we've been experiencing. Between the potential run-up before earnings and the fact that the markets have sold off since the end of January, it's likely that any of these could see a nice little bullish opportunity. That's how I'm viewing the earnings this week. Before we get into those earnings, let's look at the broader market though. Yesterday, I did an overview of the S&P 500 using the SPX chart daily candle view, and I explained that we are currently sitting on a critical level of support right above the 50-day moving average, right around 3950 to the 4,000 range. I concluded with the short-term bullish view that we were more likely in the near future to move up off of this 50-day moving average, off of this 4,000 range to potentially backtest the 4,100 level. The 4,100 threshold will be the next market test. Having said that, I read an interesting article this morning from JP Morgan that confirms some of my technical analysis. Now let's check this out. They say, bull season. JP Morgan says quants would sell more stocks if the S&P 500 falls below key level. The article has three main points. Number one, JP Morgan is warning that if stocks get to a specific level, it will trigger a sell-off event. As a side note, that would be a very good opportunity for our volatility, our VIX or our VXX play. The specific level that they're concerned about is 3940. You know that I've been giving you guys the 3950 level for weeks. I just want to point out that I do my own technicals. I'm not regurgitating anyone else's technicals on this page. Having said that, I found it very interesting that the range that I've identified weeks ago to you guys is the same range that JP Morgan is calling out. This range is approximately the 200-day moving average. Point number two, what JP Morgan is saying is that if this level gets breached, it could trigger automated selling. They believe that the markets would sell off at least 50 billion of equities if we cannot hold this critical level. And they point out that we've already seen 40 billion in equities sell off so far in the month of February. Point number three that this article makes is how they characterized the current trade environment. They said that we are potentially in a transitory phase where the dollar might soften, risk assets might rally, causing the FCI to ease too much. Then the data would pick back up, which would lead to the Fed talking hawkishly again, which could then again lead to a hard sell-off. So that brings us to point number three, is that the markets are going to get extra volatile, which again reminds me why I like my VIX play that I've been focusing on this last week. A bonus point that they made that I found very interesting was that they do not see the markets being driven by fundamentals right now, but rather key technicals. So I'm curious what you guys think. If you had to guess right now, are we going to backtest the 4,100 or are we going to break below 3940, 3950 range and see a sell-off? Which one do you think will come first? Let me know in the comments. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for hitting the like. Don't trade alone. Join the Stock Josh family by hitting the subscribe and the all notifications on the YouTube bell. You want to watch out for the scammers in the comment section. They use my picture and my name. They're impersonating me. They ask you guys to DM them or contact them on WhatsApp or Telegram. It's not me. Okay, before I get into the next earnings play, I want to just review how I did yesterday. How did yesterday's technicals that I give play out? I told everybody yesterday that AMC was looking strong at $7.65, that the volume flow was good, and that they would likely run up and continue to move higher. The volume flow was good, and that the run-up would likely continue. And today, we saw it shoot up to $8.53 this morning. Shockingly, though, I've seen comments about people wanting to get into AMC at this level. Now is not the time to buy AMC. I'm selling mine and taking profits. I called AMC a buy on this page when it was under $5. Now it's time to lock in profits. I will give you this though, for those who are extremely bullish. There is still no sell signal on the volume, but I would be careful. The highest that I see AMC squeezing to right now is around the target that I gave yesterday at $9.64. For me, that's the tippy top. But I'm already out, so keep that in mind. My exact words yesterday were bulls and bears make money. Remember, hogs get slaughtered. Rivian dropped off and then it's since moved up a little bit. The charts still do not look good for Rivian. It needs to close above $20.47 by the close of the day to be bullish moving forward. Any close beneath $20.47 in my mind means that it is still technically weak and I'm seeing it as a sell. All right, guys, let's get into NIO. That's the stock of choice. That's the one you guys asked for yesterday. Now, before I begin, I want to just tell the NIO army, don't worry, I am not going to crap on NIO today. We're just going to look carefully at key technicals together. Before I get into that, let me remind you, I do not trade NIO. I'm only interested in trading or owning best-in-class stocks, and I'm personally convinced that that's Tesla for the EV space. But NIO is setting up right now for a potential pop or a complete breakdown. I have accurately called the local top for NIO in a video that I've done this last year. I warned that NIO would lose steam around the $13 to $14 range. I pointed out that when Tesla had its monumental run-up over 100% in just 1 month, that NIO was minimally rising. I pointed out that we were not showing great relative strength in the charts. Now, that's the bearish overview. The bullish overview is that it does seem to be consolidating around the $9 to $10 range. Now, I'm going to get right to the point. If you are long NIO, I need you to beware that if NIO loses the $9 range, that's going to be bad. It would be a technical breakdown. For a breakdown to be confirmed, we would have to see a close on the daily chart below $9. Now, if that happens, NIO will likely fall to $6.98. That's where NIO would find some support. Resistance above for NIO has largely formed around $12. If they had a great forward guidance after earnings release, it would easily hit $12, I think, within 24 hours. I think NIO is at a make it or break it moment. This earnings event tomorrow will set the course for NIO for the rest of 2023. For NIO to be reborn bullish in the next 24 hours, we absolutely need to see a daily close above $9.50 at a bare minimum. I want to do the same thing with NIO that I did with Rivian, and that is to point out its relationship currently to the 50-day moving average. You can see that Tesla is way above the 50-day moving average, which is what I'm going to call bull territory. And you can see that NIO is way below, which is classically bear territory. I like to always have a very simple view of the technicals, and that's as simple as it can be. The bears are dominating NIO right now. Now, everybody thinks that I'm going to end this technical review bearishly, but I'm not. I actually think that NIO is a great play going into earnings tomorrow, right now at its current price level. The principal reason for that is because of the volume order flow that I've observed over the last week. Money has been moving into NIO starting around the $9 range. Even though the price has dropped, there's been some buying of NIO. The volume has been slowly increasing. So I'm actually bullish on NIO going into earnings. But, and I have to say with a very big but, you have to set a stop loss on NIO because again, if NIO loses that critical $9 range, I think it's going to get really ugly. What do other analysts say about NIO right now? Well, there are 32 analysts offering a 12-month price forecast for NIO with a medium target of $15.78. They've got a high target of $27.95 and a low estimate of $7.56. The median target represents a potential 69% increase from the last price of $9.33. So that does have an appeal. What is Wall Street expecting from this earnings? Well, they believe that NIO will report that they have faced hard headwinds in the last quarter of 2022. Everyone ultimately believes it's going to come down to forward guidance. The CEO absolutely needs to come out and tell us that 2023 will be a banner year for NIO. The big concern for NIO as well as XPeng is that ever since Tesla lowered its prices in China, everybody believes that this is going to create a much tougher competitive environment for NIO and XPeng. NIO has already pre-reported that they have not produced the 43 to 48,000 cars that was expected. They came in at only 42,000. They cited the COVID-fueled supply disruptions as well as operational issues. Going into 2023, Wall Street expects NIO to lose 66 cents per share versus an estimated loss of 97 cents in 2022. So if they come in that basic range, that's going to show Wall Street that they are on track. So again, I say that it's very important that I emphasize that NIO is positioned to potentially be a comeback story, and this earnings event will tell Wall Street a lot about what to expect for all of 2023. I also looked at NIO's peer, Li Auto, which is currently rallying due to an upbeat delivery and revenue guidance. So the question is, will NIO follow suit? It's missed a lot of the EV rally as of late, but it's very possible that tomorrow it's going to show up to that big EV party after all. So I'm going to rate NIO a swing trade earnings buy today. So we're all going to see if my earnings predictions win streak continues. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a lightning round of a couple other stocks that you guys have asked me for in just a moment. Before I do, I want you to check out this offer for the Australian audience from the Moomoo Investment app. You can currently receive AU cash coupon up to $110 for opening and funding an account. You can click the link in the description of the video to get the full details. And for the US audience, Moomoo is currently offering up to 17 free stock. 2 of those stocks are guaranteed ChatGPT picks. Screenshot the exact offer for all the details. You guys know I use Moomoo every day for their easy to navigate earnings calendar and for so many other benefits. Click on the link in the top pinned comment, get your free stock, and you can start investing today. Okay, the other companies that I wanted to touch on are Bidu and Baba. I'm going to do it really quick. Bidu has to close back above $140 very quickly to remain bullish, or I believe it's going to crash down to $125. If we get a close soon over $140, then Bidu can continue its bullish run. But if we lose 140, it's breaking down. Baba. Now, I've lowered my stop loss to $85.90 for Baba. 86.42 is a key fib support level. I'm still viewing this as the right entry for a long play on Baba, and I've been adding to my position. I'm essentially doubling down on my Baba play. I'm still calling Baba a buy. I have not once called Baba wrong on this page, but I admit it is always hard going against the grain and the flow. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Baba, Bidu? And let me know your thoughts on NIO if you're in it, if you're trading it. Let me know in the comments. This is the last call to hit the like. If you found value in this discussion of stocks, subscribe to get these daily stock and crypto insights. I wish you guys all success in your investing today. Once again, peace and blessings, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.